Hello, I'm Stuart Andrews, your host for this week's Stag Chats, the Armed Forces Business Directory, where we put the spotlight on businesses run by members of the Armed Forces community. This week, I'm joined by Benedetta Harris of Il Dolce Di Bennie, the Italian dessert company. So, hi Benedetta, thanks ever so much for joining me this morning. Can you give us a bit of background about yourself?
Sure. So my name is Benedetta, as you said, and I am Italian. I was born in Italy, and I lived in different countries. And yes, I don't know.
So
I have
how
a family of two.
how does somebody from Italy find themselves as a member of the Armed Forces community?
So I lived in Italy until my 17th birthday. After that, my mom being a chef, she had a very demanding job and she traveled a lot during the years. And actually, when I was 17, so in 2014, we ended up in Germany,
Okay.
actually in Gütersloh, where at the time there was a British camp there, and it's where I met my husband. Obviously, it wasn't clear to me that the British Army was there because when I met him, it was literally a few months after I moved. So everything was still very new to me. And because there was a really big university just a couple of miles away, I thought it was just a British student. So I never even questioned what job it was. I just assumed it was a student in the university. And then one day, all of a sudden, he says, "Oh, by the way, I need to leave because I need to go and exercise." And I was like, "What?"
What's
I was
that?
a bit, I was a bit confused. I was like, "What do you mean you need to go and exercise?" I thought you go to uni in Bielefeld, and I was like, "No, no, no, I'm in the army." I was like, okay. So that was like it opened a new whole world. Like we didn't, we used to date for a while, and I don't know why I just never mentioned it. And I have my brother. My brother is an officer in the Italian Navy, so I'm kind of used to the military, and I just didn't pick up the signs. It was
That's
just yeah.
fascinating. Excellent. So obviously you got married
Yeah.
and you've ended up back in the UK. So I just wanted to find out a little bit more about yourself. So with regards to the armed forces, what's your favorite posting? Have you done more than one posting with your husband?
So at the moment, we only done Germany, which is
Right.
where obviously my husband was posted, and we absolutely loved it. I mean, I had the chance to live in both world, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
So because I was there before I met him, I got to know the the German community, and
Sure.
then once I actually became a wife and being part of the military community, I actually ended up knowing and getting used to the army community, which it was absolutely fantastic. Gütersloh itself was a very small community, so people knew each other. The welfare and the community system and support that was behind was amazing. And yeah, I really had like very great years.
Oh, that's fantastic. So, and obviously you've recently launched your business. So tell us a little bit about the company and what it does.
So I personally grew up in a family where I've been between restaurants and chefs and food. So my mom, as I said, is a chef. My grandparents were chefs and cooks. It's just been in the generation basically. And also my brother now has just graduated to become a chef as well himself. So I've always been around people and kitchens, if that
Yeah.
makes sense.
And Italian is the best food in Europe, obviously,
Yeah.
possibly the world.
I mean, I'm a little bit biased, but I think so. But yeah, so my grandparents used to own a restaurant when I was younger, and when I turned 14, I actually ended up going in the weekends to help out, just to learn the little traditions and recipes behind what they were doing in the restaurant themselves. The idea of opening my business, it was something actually that I've been having in my mind for a while, but for one reason or another, it was never the right time, or I wasn't feeling confident enough. And sometimes I even double guessed myself because I was like, what if they don't like it? I mean, English people have different tastes, like everyone else. Something that I like, someone else may not like it. So
Of
um,
course.
yeah, all of that was coming up to life, and it kind of pushed back this project. And then obviously I had another baby in the meantime, so I just waited for a better time. And when Boris actually said that we were going to back into lockdown number 3, I was like, you know what, my husband is at home, I have all the support that I need. This is something that I could launch in while we're in lockdown, because that way it would be easier to do all the paperwork, because everything is online, so I can send emails making sure that everything is sorted. And actually, yeah, we've been open for a couple of months now. I started my process back in November, and we officially been live for a month and a half now.
Excellent. And so just to be absolutely clear, what is it that you're selling, and what's your service?
So I sell Italian desserts. So they are all the typical Italian desserts, and all the recipes that I'm coming from, they're recipes from a family's book or from my family traditions. So
So lots of family secrets in there.
yeah, well,
Excellent.
my family always try to keep the recipes as true to the original recipe, but everywhere you go, like, you will always find something different or a variation of that dessert. For example, one of my favorite desserts that I'm actually selling as well is the tiramisu, and obviously the recipe is very truthful, but we actually add as a family an extra ingredient in it that makes the cream even more tasteful. So, like little bits like that. It doesn't have to
Yeah.
be something major that changes within the recipe, but the little things that actually make that product a little bit more original or different.
Fantastic. So, and what is your favorite dessert that you actually make? Which
So,
one can't you get enough of?
right. I can get enough of like tiramisu. I can literally make a bowl of it and eat it. It's very dangerous. Like, every time I'm actually making the batch to sell, I always think, shall I leave like a little bit aside for me?
Yeah, of course.
Which is very, it's
And
very hard not to do.
I expect the kids love the fact that you're cooking desserts all the time, because they get to lick the bowl
Yes,
and
yes.
try. And have you got the family sampling all the different products to make sure that they're going to be good enough?
Yeah, well, my family obviously live in Italy, so it's been very hard to
Oh, your
send
kids and your
things.
husband, I mean.
But yeah, my husband, is a very chocolatey person, so it's very hard to get like an idea from him. But everything that he tried, he's always been very impressed, because so if he doesn't have chocolate in it, it will just be like, no, I don't like it.
So he's hard to please, is he?
Yeah, but his parents, like my parents-in-law and stuff, they've been trying things, and obviously they were very well impressed with the products.
Brilliant. And so what was the main motivation for you starting the business? What made you want to start a business rather than going to just get a job locally with a company that's nearby?
Okay, so before the pandemic started, I did have a job actually as a part-time job, because I was going to college in the same time as well.
Right.
And I would probably go back to that job once my maternity leave finishes. But the passion behind the desserts is something that I've been building for years now. So I think that what actually kicked in me is the fact that I lost my granddad back in November.
Oh, sorry to hear that.
And it's something that I know that you would be very proud of. So I it's something that keeps him close to me, and thinking that he's up there, like watching me doing something so crazy and exciting and scary in the same time, I think it's just a good enough of reason.
Excellent. And so what has been your biggest challenge to get the business off the ground, would you say?
So I think it's probably the word of mouth. So I'm trying to build up channels where people can actually find out about the products.
Sure.
At the moment, I'm not really worried about the orders. I mean, hopefully, I hope that people will buy from me. But in order to do that, I need to make my business get known
Sure.
in a wider community. So I've been trying to use I've been using Facebook and Instagram, and obviously the next step is actually trying to make some flyers or some things that I can literally just, walk around our community and just pop the little letters in their post box, basically.
Yeah, so marketing's at the moment's your biggest challenge, trying to
Yeah.
find those customers to actually come through the door and buy some stuff.
Yes, definitely. I mean, all the people that brought stuff from me by now, I just received very good reviews behind it, and I actually ended up having some clients all the way up from Scotland,
Oh,
and
wow.
some, yes, because some of the products can actually be posted, so
Yeah.
such as biscuits or things like that. So I can post them with Royal Mail, and within 3 days they will have their product. So I had the chance to have people all the way from Scotland, and that was very exciting.
That's very exciting. That
Yeah.
is, it's always nice when you get inquiries coming through from places where you just don't expect, isn't it?
Yes, definitely. It was very, very interesting to get this type of queries, definitely.
And is that one of the most surprising things that has happened to you during this journey, or have you got other surprises that have come along the way that you thought, I did not expect to see that?
No, so I also had some other small businesses actually coming to my page, and obviously they were interested in my products. So we ended up having a bit of an exchange, if that makes sense. It's still
Okay.
for marketing purposes, but basically I prepare something for them, and they prepare something for me. And then we shared our products and what we thought about it on the social media, basically.
So you're doing a bit of collaboration with other businesses that are similar to yourself, or are they completely
Yes,
different?
so one was about obviously pies in general, so that was
Okay.
very interesting. And then
So I've got my
another,
main and now I've got my dessert. So I've got my,
exactly,
yeah.
exactly. And then another one was actually about makeup. So, for example, for Valentine's Day, we ended up making like a little Facebook Live, or made some different parties where we gathered people, and we made quiz, and we showed our products. And this friend of mine, she showed her makeup products, and I showed my business and my desserts. And actually we received a very good feedback from that as well. I
That's
think
great.
people, makeup and desserts, well, what can go wrong?
That's fantastic. So you got orders from places that you weren't expecting. You're now collaborating with other businesses that you just hadn't thought that you could collaborate with, and that's fantastic. So, and with that knowledge, if you were going to start this business again, what would you do differently? Just as if there's other people that are watching this that are thinking of starting their business, what lessons have you learned in the last month and a month and a half or so?
So I think that one of the most important things is always be yourself. I think if people like the genuine and just people that are real, so try not to build up too much. Just show what you have, start
Yeah.
small, and then if you have the chance to go bigger, then go for it. I personally probably wouldn't change anything apart of the thing of the whole process. Like, I wish that there were more informations out there for how to start an actual business. So
Okay.
I found myself actually doing a lot of research and googling and sending email and trying to have some sort of guidance for what I need to do in order to start a business.
So would you have found something like a how to start a business handbook or reference guide really useful?
Yeah, that would have been very, very helpful, because obviously we are in Wiltshire at the moment, so the Wiltshire Council has many links and things that you can go and look in it, but some of these things are very old, so
Yeah.
things that change in between, and so I needed to find time and research, like maybe on the government website, what was the update, or just trying to find the right direction, basically. But I mean,
Excellent.
we got there in the end.
Yeah, no, for sure, obviously. So, but it was difficult to formalize your plans because you were finding it hard to find the information that you needed to work out how to set the company up and how best to run it.
Yes, yes.
Yeah.
And also what you want to do as well is making sure that, you know what you have to do within the tax year when you have to get registered as self-employed, like all those little steps as well. Sometimes it's very hard to find information about that too. So make sure you do all the researches that are needed, because you don't want anything backfire basically.
Yeah, of course. So you mentioned that I think you mentioned you're on maternity leave at the moment,
Yes.
and that you're planning to go back to some sort of employment after your maternity leave. Is Dolce Bennie going to carry on? Do you plan to
Yes,
continue it for the
totally.
next few years?
Yes. So my actual dream is being able to open my little Italian cafe where people can come in and, you know, having the desserts and having maybe like a nice cup of coffee and have a chat. That's what I would really love.
Pretty tables on the promenade.
Yes,
Next
exactly.
to the
Like
beach.
very Italian style, you know.
Yeah.
You know.
That sounds great. Is there anywhere in Lark Hill that fits the bill for a for premises that would do that for you?
Well, we're looking, we're searching. The good thing about Larkhill is that you have all many villages around you. So, you know, if it's not Larkhill itself, you know, you can always look into Amesbury or other places.
Sure.
But yeah, that would be something really, really, really good. Like that's my dream job basically. But yeah, I will be going back to this other employment anyway, because it's something that I like and I care about. So
Sure.
I will be doing both basically.
Fantastic.
And that doesn't mean that I don't love my customers, because I really do, and they will be well looked after me anyway.
and so how do you think, I don't know if you've had the time to assess this, but looking back over the period of time that you've been running the business, has it changed you in any way? Do you think that there's any kind of impact or development in your personality or your skills? What do you think's changed for you?
So I
As an individual?
personally had experience in customer service before. So the contact with people and how to message them and trying to do like to get them involved is very good. What I'm trying to understand is like the social media point of view, if that makes sense. So they have certain algorithm that if you post something in a certain way, more people would see it. So it's something I'm trying to work out. Like I'm not very.
So your technical skills are improving.
Yes, definitely. There's a lot of things like, you know, that I've learned in the past month. So like, you know, how to organize party with other people, how to have extra marketing skills and all the kind of things, which is, you know, it's been very good because it's just extra experience and skills that you gain. So.
And did you expect to have to develop some of these skills when you first started, or did it come as a bit of a surprise that suddenly you'd have to become, not only were you a brilliant chef, but you found out very quickly that you had to become a marketeer suddenly, and then you had to become a financial manager so that you can do your bookkeeping? Did it come as a surprise that you had to develop those additional skills?
Not as a surprise, but it was definitely overwhelming. So, you know, when you start a business, what you want to do usually is just, you know, just bake and sell. That what you want to think and what you want to focus on. But then there's so much behind the scenes that goes on that you need to make sure that everything is in place. That, you know, it was very overwhelming at the start because, you know, you needed to get used to it. But once the wheels start rolling, then you won't even notice it. You just go with the flow basically. And I personally am the kind of person that if I'm not sure about something, I'll ask the question, or I'm looking and searching for the things and, you know, making sure that everything is in the place they're supposed to be.
Yeah, sure. And how do you find balancing life as a spouse of the armed force, a member of the armed forces, and as a mum, and now as a business owner? Are you finding that a challenge?
So it's totally a challenge. Don't take me wrong. Sometimes, you know, having to bake and then looking in the living room and the children are going insanely crazy, and you're like, ah!
Have you burnt anything by accident yet? Because
I
you've
wish
distracted.
I had extra hands. Yeah. But no, yeah, it's totally, sometimes can be very busy and stressful. but it's been an amazing journey so far. My husband has been very positive and supportive despite having himself a demanding job.
Yeah.
And the community itself, the army community, and the people that my husband has been working with have been very helpful, with giving him the extra time to stay at home and trying to work from home instead of going in, not only for the safety but also I think that they're aware of what kind of mentally strains and things are happening, not only because of the pandemic, but what it's been happening lately around the world. But so yeah, it is challenging, but I think that I want to show to my children that if you put yourself up for something and you challenge yourself to do something new and something exciting, it doesn't mean that you may lose something. It's all about the game. So
Yeah, absolutely.
that's what I want to show them. Just go with your dream and dream big.
Yeah, and I'm sure you're a brilliant role model for the kids. So a couple of final questions for you. If you would to give advice to somebody who was about to set up their business, what is your one kind of top tip?
Plan. Write a priority list and plan. Make sure that before you even advertise anything, you have all the paperwork sorted. Make sure that you're registered with the council, you're registered with the MOD if you're in the army community, and just plan. Don't rush it, because even if it takes a little bit longer before you actually go live, it's all extra things that it will be worth it afterwards. It's all that planning and getting everything ready, and that means that when you start actually working, you don't have to go back and sort the things out they didn't sort in the first place.
Excellent. And then finally, where can people find you? How can they where can they go to buy some brilliant desserts from you?
So I have at the moment 2 pages, one on Instagram and one on Facebook. So you can just write I Dolce Di Bennie and it will come up with my logo, which is blue and black, and it's a very simple logo. But
we'll put links in the comments as well for you. So
yeah.
So if anyone's watching and you want to get hold of Benedetta and some of her fabulous desserts, I'll put some links in the comments below so you can get in touch with her directly.
That would be amazing. And
fantastic.
Yeah, we have a little bit of everything for everyone. So even if you have any allergies, and just pop me your questions and we can see what we can do.
And can I get hold of some limoncello from you?
Well, that's something that I'm trying to see if I can actually make myself. The challenge with that is that the products to make Italian liqueurs over here is that you need pure alcohol, like 90% pure alcohol, which it's very hard to find in England.
Yeah, sure.
It's something that it needs to be imported from Italy, and with the Brexit and everything else that is going on, I might just wait a little longer to see what's been happening before to go extra crazy with things.
Excellent. Well, I just want to say a massive thank you from Stag Protect. It's been a pleasure to talk to you, and I hope anybody who's watching this has got some value from our conversation and maybe picked up some top tips on what it's like to run a business and be a mum and be a spouse in the armed forces. It's a lot to juggle. So really grateful for your time, Benedetta, and thanks again.
Thanks for the interview. Thank you. It was very fun for me, actually.
Good. Thanks for watching. Join us next week for another episode of Stag Chats, where we'll be talking to a business owner, getting some insights on what it's like to run a company as a member of the armed forces community. In the meantime, stay safe and we'll see you soon.